Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. So there is something right now that finds itself at the forefront of conversations in the gaming industry, and that is the Battle Royale multiplayer, thing that's going on. A lot of games are taking on this format of making video games. In fact, just the other day, I saw a Star Wars trailer for some Star Wars game that pretty much was a depiction of a Battle Royale mode, even for its trailer. A lot of people in the comments of that reveal basically just said their mind and said, if this is going to be one of those other Battle Royale type deals, I just want to not be a part of this. And then we saw the Lord of the Rings tease, and I think one of the companies behind this is NetEase, which is also a company that really is not necessarily known for making the commitment to single player games. Now, what does this have to do with Gotham Knights? Well, Gotham Knights has a co-op aspect to it, but the difference that I want to make sure that we highlight in this video is that co-op side of it is a two-player co-op where you and another person can just hop into each other's session if you want to, and you can play the game. So this is not going to be like any kind of Battle Royale or even most co-op aspects of other games that you see all over the place. Now, why is it important to make this distinction? I think it's important to make this distinction so that we don't, number one, miscategorize what Gotham Knights is trying to do, and number two, it doesn't necessarily, put us in a position where, we're pretty much saying something that is unclear or untrue. So this is something that we must make sure that we discuss. Now, I guess another question that you can ask is, why are the developers deciding to do this? And in my opinion, I don't necessarily know. Maybe the way they've designed the game, it probably has some value if you wanted to have somebody else come in and play with you. But again, you can also play the game by yourself, which is pretty much what the other games have done in the past in terms of Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight. I think Arkham Origins did some multiplayer stuff back in the day, which I never got to play at all. And so these are some of the pertinent things to be looking at. Again, I think why a lot of this needs to be very carefully categorized is because, with the way a lot of these companies are going, it just appears to seem like, a lot of people are not necessarily too keen on this. And by the way, this is actually, spanning through multiple genres of games. In fact, the Tom Clancy universe is also going to be seeing another game called X Defiant, which is a first-person shooter that's going to have, characters from other Tom Clancy games in it, just to have this fast-paced shooter, objective-based multiplayer co-op PvP aspect of it. So that's really a big deal. And by the way, I have nothing against co-op games. If you guys if you guys have known, any of my work here on YouTube, I cover a game called Tom Clancy's The Division and The Division 2, which is a heavily, I would say a game that is heavily emphatic on the co-op aspect of things. So this is not a video to say that I don't like the co-op aspect. In fact, all I'm doing in this video is trying to separate what we consider co-op and what, the Battle Royale aspect of things actually is. And again, there's also that fear that comes from it that this may be something that really wants to be monetized or taken out of hand. And to be very honest, I mean, we have to be fair. I played Marvel's Avengers, and this game doesn't seem to give me those vibes from what we're seeing in the gameplay, in the marketing, in the trailer. It's very challenging to get those vibes from a game like this. The Avengers game was very interesting. You had to play basically similar missions. You had to go to similar locations and just take all your different characters and just pretty much grind and get XP and get all this other stuff that came with the objectives, which was, in my opinion, pretty weak and light for a superhero game of that magnitude, where you had all these superheroes that you could have done something quite unique and specific to. But this game doesn't necessarily seem to bring those vibes. In fact, the game's creative director, Patrick Redding, has mentioned many, many times that the studio decided to go with a player co-op aspect of things as the max number of players that they really want to be playing the game together. So this is something we can definitely take a look at, and something that we can kind of just say, okay, this is where we think this game is at least trying to get us, to engage, and this is the starting point. It's going to be a co-op, it's going to be a multiplayer, but it's only specific to two players compared to the other games around the industry. Anyways, that's pretty much my video for this particular topic. I wanted to go ahead and just do this. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Does this bother you, or is this something that you are probably fine with? I'm fine with it. I have no problem with it at all. If anything, I think this is actually a very interesting way to go about getting, more people actually involved in the game. I think this might be a sales aspect of things, but I'll go back and talk about it later in my in subsequent videos so that I can expand and flesh that conversation out. Talk to you guys in another video. Peace out.